Hey everyone, so in today's video we are here to talk about the Credo Friends and Family Sale, and essentially everything is 20% off at Credo. This is one of my favorite sales of the year because I just love Credo's selection of products. They have a lot of more indie brands as well as brands that I talk about all the time on my channel. So like Kosas, Ilia, Jones Road, Westman Atelier, Tower 28. Then they have some of those more indie brands that I really love, like Rituelle. You guys know how much I love Rituelle. There is Kjaer Weis, Mob Beauty, which is a newer brand to me. Really excited to talk about these cheek products. But yeah, everything is 20% off. But it is a short sale. I'll leave the dates right here, but it is, I think, only 4 days. So you kind of have to act fast. I have so many different products to talk about, so I really just want to jump in. I'll leave everything down below for you guys, all of the products, and then at the end of the video, if you're interested, I do have a little wish list. You guys, I think we should just first start off with Rituelle because you guys know how much I love Rituelle. I want to talk about what is on my eyes, the combo. So there are 2 different eye products that I have on. They are 2 different formulas that I have talked about before on my channel, but first product that I have on, and a classic item, the first product that I tried from Rituelle are the Ash and Ember Eye Soots. This is a hybrid formula that I am absolutely in love with, and it is still a formula that I find to be incredibly unique. Not another formula out there like it, in my opinion. They're essentially a pigment mixed with an oil in here. So what you're able to get is this really gorgeous, sooty, undone effect on the eyes, mixed with that oil that kind of melts the pigment down onto the lids. So what you're left with is like a really gorgeous satin, skin-like look without this being a really emollient powder. So that kind of hybrid texture and formula, I think if you're someone that really loves that undone eye, that really melted in eye look, these are pretty perfect for that. So this is actually the shade Incantation, and it is what is on my eyes all over. I will show you how I got this eye look. And by the way, I am going to be giving you demos of every product that I own, so if you really appreciate that, make sure to give this video a thumbs up because it has that really brilliant sooty texture mixed with that oil. I just find that it ends up giving you this realistic kind of lived-in bedroom eye effect. I notice the difference on my eyes. It's really a textural thing, but not only that, Rituelle I feel like is so perfect at giving you a unique shade. So I will give you swatches of all of the Ash and Ember Eye Soots that I own. The shades are so incredibly unique. Golden Age, Half Light, Love Spell. These are 3 shades that I initially purchased first. I love every single one of them. They're absolutely perfect. They're beautiful at giving you that one and done bedroom slept in eye. You can definitely mix them. The only 2 downsides I would say there is something that I've mentioned before, which is the top of this container is very small, so you need to use a brush that can fit inside of here. You can't really use your fingers, which I do think is a con. My favorite brush to use with these, where are you, is the Sephora Pro 18, a holy grail brush for me. It has a nice dense texture, and I think that these work best with a more dense synthetic brush. So something to keep in mind. And also, after about 3 years, these will dry up. But overall, the Ash and Ember Eye Soots are an absolute favorite for me. A lot of you guys already know that, but if you've never heard about this formula and you're curious, they are 20% off. The next formula that is on my eyes, that really wet effect shadow, is another product from Rituelle, which are the Celestial Sphere Eye Soots. And in specific, I'm wearing the shade Andromeda on my eyes. And I haven't given you guys a demo or worn this on camera, I don't think so. I'm really excited to share this with you because I can't get over the shades. Again, Rituelle does such an incredible job at giving you a really dimensional, unique shade. There's gray to it, there's gold to it, there's that really pretty red pink note. So it's just such a beautiful dimensional eyeshadow. And Serpens is another shade that you guys went crazy over, and I'm so happy to hear it because this is such a beautiful, unique product. I actually talked about it in my video highlighting unique formulas. But Serpens is, you know, if you are a lover of all things green, there is a good chance that you are going to really, really like this one. Emerald looking eyeshadow, evergreen. It's beautiful. But this formula, and I've described it this way before, for me, it is like one of those glitter flakes. You know those kind of flaky glitter eyeshadows that have kind of become more popular over the past few years? It's like that mixed with a cream shadow mixed with an eye gloss. It definitely has more of that glittery, flaky, dimensional look, but this is completely smooth. There's a bit of translucence to these, which reminds me more of an eye gloss, and obviously the actual texture on the lids, you know, reflects the way an eye gloss would, but it works and blends really beautifully the way a cream eyeshadow would. So if you love playing with wet textures on the eyes, if you love these really dimensional, unique shades, these are very, very unique. Again, I have not used another product like them. I think that they're absolutely beautiful. But if you are a fan of like a no budge, no crease eyeshadow, don't wear these because it is a hybrid formula. You know, it has that glossy finish. So again, this is not for people that like crease-proof makeup. It is for people that really love that glossy eye effect. They're really, really beautiful. I love me some Rituelle Defeat. I'm gonna kind of jump around a little bit in this video. I want to keep you guys on your toes, but another brand that is on sale is Tower 28, and I had to mention my number one recommendation for the sale as far as mascaras and Tower 28, honestly, is the Tower 28 MakeWaves mascara. This has definitely been a product that has absolutely impressed me this year. If you love that buildable butterfly lash, you like an everyday lash look, but you want the ability to really build it and give you that like super lifted look to your lashes, this is a mascara I would recommend looking into. I love that it is really long wearing. It really holds a curl. Guys, I am an affordable mascara person. I find it very difficult for me to go out of my way to recommend a more expensive mascara, but this one I will 100% repurchase. I love that I can kind of sit there and keep building, and I can just keep getting really beautiful volume that doesn't look heavy, doesn't look clumpy. It is a beautiful one. Beautiful. I love it. Speaking of Tower 28, I also love their SunnyDays SPF 30 tinted sunscreen. I use this more so as just like a foundation product, but I do know some people that like to use this as their sunscreen. Just make sure you're using enough because this, to me, this definitely has decent coverage to it, you guys. I love how easy it is. It's just such an easy tinted moisturizer kind of product to apply all over the face, blend with fingers, and I really like the finish. To me, for dry skin, it's kind of somewhere in the middle. It's not super glowy, it's not super dewy. I think if you have more normal to combination skin, this is probably going to look more dewy than it does on me. I just love the effortless blend of this. It feels, to me, it has like a smoothing effect too, so they did like a really beautiful job on this. I love that it is completely mineral, so if you also are someone that likes a mineral sunscreen, something to keep in mind, there are a lot of different shades, very inclusive. It is beautiful. I love the packaging, nice squeezy tube, and also it's one of those squeezy tubes that you can kind of control how much actually comes out, so again, really great launch from Tower 28. As far as Tower 28, these are my two favorite products that I have used from the brand. I also really like their mist as well, the SOS mist, and I'll talk more about the SOS serum later in this video during my wish list. But shall we talk about the base that is on my face right now? These are from Westman Atelier. These are the Vital Skin Foundation Sticks. So I have two shades. I was using the shade 3 when I was self-tanning, and today I have the shade number 2, which is, I would say, a little bit too dark for me. You guys, this foundation, it's expensive. I mean, Westman Atelier is a luxury brand, but as far as stick foundations go, I love the coverage of this. I love the finish. I love the buildability, the blendability. I love how luxurious it feels. So though it is an expensive product formula-wise, it is one that I really enjoy and love. To me, it's just a more skin-like version of something like the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. This to me has that really perfected finish and it has good coverage, but in general it just doesn't look as heavy on my skin. You could also go with the one from Merit. I also really like the Merit Skin Stick, but that one just has a touch less coverage. So if you want more coverage, this one has more coverage. All right, let's get back into some eye products. Róen. Róen is selling on Credo, and I have two eyeshadow palettes that have been favorites for years. You guys probably already know that I love these. I have the Róen 1111 palette, which is still my favorite, and this color story, it is so unexpected but wearable and, you know, unique. I love the original Róen eyeshadow palettes. The 52 degree palette is also an original. I love the textures in here, but let me kind of quickly break down the formula for you. The 1111 palette has these really beautiful creamy cream eyeshadows, but they also have this really brilliant kind of flaky flecked topper, which I think is a really nice balance to these other shades. You're able to get like one of the most unique eyeshadow looks that I have come across. Róen is known for these really, really creamy emollient eyeshadows with incredible dimension, incredibly easy to blend and buttery on the lids, but you can see they're not like a mousse. They still have like a stiffness to them, but within every shade, there's just these very unique, different flecks of glitter, another tweak to an expected shade. So for example, this looks like this shade down here, it looks like just your typical gray. But when you put it onto the finger and onto the lid, look at this, you guys. It's insane. The dimension of this, the unexpected kind of brown notes to it, these really beautiful glitters. Róen eye look is still something that I think is very unique to Róen. They did a really good job, you know, Nikki DeRosa's brainchild, though she's not at the brand. These are something that I would highly recommend you look into, but it's kind of the same deal as like the eye look that I have on right now. These aren't super long wearing. They kind of wear into the eyes. So if you really like that worn in look, you're going to like these. Again, if you're more of a fan of like a straight matte, no creasing kind of look, you probably won't be a fan of these. But let's say that you do want a more long wearing eyeshadow. This is one that I picked up strictly due to the color, but I really love how long wearing it is. So this is from Ilia, and it is the liquid powder matte eye tint. And it definitely is like a liquid powder texture. So again, beautiful liquid texture to this. Incredibly smooth pigment. I really, really like the mattes of this. I don't like the shimmers. I think the shimmers are a little bit awkward. You do have to work a little bit faster than I would like with these, but the shades are so on point. I've looked at all of them in person and I've been incredibly impressed by the shade selection. This yellow green is so beautiful. I love it. But they also have the shade Dove, which is kind of like a gray blue, which I've been eyeing as well. And those are definitely more of a matte longwear formula. But another matte longwear formula that I gotta talk about to you guys are these eyeshadows from Mob Beauty. So Mob Beauty is a more affordable brand. This is a newer brand to me, but you get these little pans, you can pop them into one of their compacts, or you can, you know, go ahead and put them into your own palette. This cream eyeshadow formula, first of all, I love the colors. I love how bright they are. I do have a good shade selection though, but they go on to the eyes really vibrantly and easily. Definitely has more of that cream kind of clay texture to it, but when it goes onto the skin, it like sets down, which is really nice. I could not resist this mint green and then this purple. I mean, oh my gosh, look at that. These are like true blue, great pigmented pastels. And I also saw that they had like this beautiful robin egg blue. But then I bought these two shades and look, I'll kind of mix and show you guys what I realized. When I add a little bit of purple to the green, look what happens. We got a pretty nice blue. So you can really mix and match these. God, see, that is so beautiful. If you love to mix and match, if you like a matte long wear shadow, these are pretty affordable. I love the shade selection and have just been really impressed with this. Talk about more Mob Beauty in a second, but I did want to mention that Cosas is available at Credo. The Revealer Foundation is a holy grail for me. The incredible medium coverage that looks like dewy, fresh skin. Dry skin people, if you have been curious about this, again, I absolutely love it. It's that freshness that it imparts on the skin without looking overly heavy or dewy, but it's still like a relatively creamy foundation. It's really that fresh facial look that's also medium coverage. And I think that's kind of the difference with this foundation. It is really, really beautiful. And I know if my skin isn't doing well, my skin is still going to look good with this. It's a foundation that I would pick up when it's 20% off as like a, you know, stock up. And of course, I'm stocking up on my Holy Grail Kosas Revealer Concealer. Yes, it is a Holy Grail, and I absolutely love it. It is perfect for those of you with both dark and hollow under eyes. It does a beautiful job of not only giving you nice, creamy, hydrated coverage, true like medium hydrated coverage, while also not exaggerating any of the hollowness that you have. So for me, it's perfection. I love it. And of course, at 20% off, it's a good time for me to stock up since I'm using it, you know, every time I do my makeup. Speaking of products that I always talk about and you guys know I love, Kjaer Weis, the cream blushes, you guys know I am a huge fan of. What shade is this? This is the shade Blossoming, I believe. I also have a palette filled with a bunch of the cream blushes are really beautiful. They're much creamier than the Mob Beauty blushes, which I'll talk about in a second. They have just that really classic cream texture to them, but they go onto the skin not too dewily. They're not that dewy. They have a really nice satin finish and they have a life to them, emollient look on the skin that ends up just making your skin look really healthy, incredibly easy to blend. As far as a beginner-friendly cream blush, I don't think you can get much easier than this. I love Blossoming. I love the shade Joyful, but Inner Glow will always be my favorite because there's just something so unique about it. It's just this gorgeous pinky kind of taupe shade that I feel like for fair skin gives you the most realistic sculpt. If you do have pinker undertones, I would highly suggest checking it out. It kind of just gives you this plump, defined cheek look. It's difficult to describe, but hopefully the demo is helpful. It's just perfect. I also like their cream shadows as well. They aren't quite as reflective. They're more of just like a satin kind of color. They're really beautiful though, easy to blend, great for mature skin as well. Alluring is my favorite because it's this really pretty kind of antique gold, a very unique shade. And I do find that Kjaer Weis does a really good job with their shades as well. Shall we talk about a bit of Jones Road? You guys, the What the Foundation, it is on sale. Who knows how long it'll be in stock, but I still think that the What the Foundation is a unique product, albeit it is a little bit messy. But as far as that true kind of skincare foundation hybrid, it is what it says it is, and I do think that there's something different about it comparatively to a typical like tinted moisturizer. This has kind of an occlusive effect on the skin the way that a balm is. It feels like it's kind of sealing everything in. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it does look truly undetectable and like true skin on the skin. For me, it's very in line with what Jones Road, their motto is, which is, you know, really embracing your natural beauty. I mean, I love me a medium coverage foundation, I'll be honest, but if I truly want that no makeup look, this is beautiful at that. I also really like that it feels on the skin, it just feels like skincare. And if you're someone that really likes a stripped down routine, you want to be able to just apply a little bit of coverage with your fingers, tap a little blush on the cheeks, you know, Jones Road is good for that. I also just started trying out the lip and cheek stick. I gotta tell you, I do prefer this formula to the Miracle Balm formula. The Miracle Balm formula, I feel like it just picks up on itself, so it's not good for someone like me that wears foundation. If you don't wear foundation, that is a good option, but I really like this because it still has that really creamy, balmy kind of texture. But I find that I really like the way it looks on the cheeks because there's just a bit more pigment there. I also like how convenient this is, you know, this nice stick applicator. And I'm wearing the shade English Rose on my lips. And I found, surprisingly, that this looks really, really pretty on the lips. Surprisingly, I really like it. I mean, typically a cream product that is for the cheeks and the lips, I'm typically not going to like it. I don't know what it is. I just find that a lot of products, they don't work for both for me. But I really like this for the lips, and on the cheeks, if you really like that dewy kind of translucent flush, this is really pretty for that. Another product actually in the same vein as the Jones Road are the Color Nectar Pigment Balms from Rituelle de Fille. These are exactly what I just said. They're a pigment balm. They have this beautiful kind of translucence to them that I think is very unique in a cream blush. They don't have any of that kind of white base pigment, so you're just left with this really pretty, juicy flush. If you are a fan of that really juicy cheek look, you like that punch of color, you like a unique color, then these are definitely for you. I also have, where's my other shade? I have 3 shades. Snapdragon is just beautiful. I kind of want to add a little bit of this to the lips actually. As far as like that no makeup balmy blush cheek look, these definitely get the job done. And if you just find that it's a pet peeve with you that like cream blushes tend to have that milky white base pigment to them, I would check these out because to me they feel like something between a cream balm and like a stain, cheek stain. They have a really nice balance to them. Another Rituelle de Fille favorite are the cream highlights. This is the Rare Light Cream Luminizer in the shade Phosphene. I actually haven't worn this in a while. Should I put a little bit on? It's more of a stiff balm cream texture that I really like because it kind of like sets down on the cheeks. So you're not left with like, oh my gosh, look at that. You're not left with like a really tacky feeling on the cheeks, which, you know, we don't always want. The shade itself is so beautiful and unique. It has a soft blur to it as well. Oh my gosh, why did I feel bad that I haven't worn this in a while because just look at it. It almost has a little bit of a cream to powder thing going on without setting down to like a chalky look on the skin. And because of that kind of cream to powder finish, it also lasts longer than other creamy cream highlights. So this is another Rituelle de Fille favorite that I've loved for a while. I actually do prefer that formula to the Kjaer Weis cream highlights. I think the Kjaer Weis cream highlights are pretty, but you know, just in comparison to the Rituelle de Fille, I would say go with that one. Speaking of luxury highlights, the Lit Up Stick from Westman Atelier is another one. If you prefer more of that glossy looking highlight, then the Lit Up Stick is definitely going to get you there more so than the one from Rituelle de Fille, because this one to me is like a creamy, perfected glow, whereas the Lit Up Stick is, you know, that glossy, no makeup kind of glow. They actually sent this to me, the Lit Up color, which is more of like a kind of iridescent clear shade, which for me, this kind of shade, it's just not my thing. It kind of has like a blue purple thing to it. Just for me, you know, our skin just typically isn't really blue, so for me, it's just not what I go for. However, Nectar is the most beautiful, glossy, balmy, slightly peachy, glossy highlight. I absolutely love the shade Nectar. And if you want to go for that glossy highlighted effect, that is the shade that I would recommend because I feel like that little tinge of peach is what separates that product. it adds a little bit of that color without it being like overwhelmingly peach, and it doesn't look like a peach stripe. It still looks like that really glossy skin, you know, refreshed facial kind of look. Very, very pretty. All right, let's circle back to Mob Beauty because I've been very, very impressed with Mob Beauty. The cream bronzer is beautiful. Actually, I realized today when I was applying it for the demo, I was surprised. I thought that a dense brush would work the best with this, but it turns out that like a fluffier kind of cheek brush, I think works even better with this formula. So this is the Sky Buff from Phytosurgence, another indie brand that I love. This is the shade M80 in the Mob Beauty Cream Bronzer, which I love. Love, love, love this shade. It's really, really nice, not too orange. If you are a fair person like I am, I would look into that cream bronzer. It's freaking beautiful. And it has this nice creamy finish, but then it goes down and sets on the cheeks. It's not an overly dewy product. Again, it's a very similar formula to the clay cream eyeshadows as well. Same thing goes with the blush. No complaints about the blush. In fact, this shade I think is absolutely gorgeous. Wearing it today and I went pretty heavy with it. I definitely took it up under the eyes and I love it. I love the way that it blended. Really beautiful color. You can build up the color on these. They're not too pigmented right out of the gate, but you can, again, get a nice rich pop out of them. Bravo to Mob Beauty. I really, really like these. I did try the mascara. It is refillable the way that, you know, the rest of the products are. I didn't like the mascara. I would say go with the one from Tower 28 if you're looking into a mascara. We have a few more odds and ends to talk about. I feel like I haven't talked about this product in a while, but I had to circle back to the liquid lip balms, the Kiss My Liquid lip balms? I forget the name. These are still absolutely beautiful and they spawned my love for a liquid lip balm. They have this beautiful stained glass effect on the lips. They really soothe and hydrate the lips. They're translucent enough and have that kind of jelly look without this being a gloss. It's a true liquid lip balm texture. It never looks milky or awkward. I mean, this shade Remy, it's so easy to make a pinky beige shade that is way too milky on the lips, but they managed to not do that. Charlie is my favorite shade. It was one of my favorite lip products, I think in 2020. I need to repurchase another one because the shade is absolutely perfect. The formula is on point. The packaging I absolutely love. It does have a minty kind of smell to it, which I know not all of you like. Personally, I don't mind it. Again, beautiful, beautiful formula. And I know they have a trio. You can get all three shades. I love all three of the original shades. You can obviously also buy singles, but I will be repurchasing Charlie because I don't know where it went. I think it went into, you know, like a jean jacket pocket, never made it out. Some more odds and ends. The Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint is another product that is on sale. You guys, honestly, I do prefer, I think, the one from Tower 28. But I still really like this one. So, you know, it just depends. This one's a little bit more emollient, a little bit more of that juicy look, whereas the Tower 28 is just a touch less dewy on me. But I really like the use of squalane in the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. I really like that. It just feels like a good product for the skin. And I think that that is kind of where Clean Beauty does it right. Love that they do incorporate skincare ingredients into makeup items, at least for like a soothing effect. Like, I gotta tell you right now, getting back to like the Kosas Revealer Foundation, my skin always feels really hydrated and good after I wear this and when I take off my makeup. And there are definitely some foundations that my skin doesn't feel great after. So I think that that's kind of where certain makeup products have an edge on others. One more Rituelle de Fille favorite. This is the Enchanted Lip Sheer. I have two shades. I have the shade Whitethorn, which I can't find somewhere around here, and then the shade Rue. If you are a fan of the Glossier Generation Gs, I would highly suggest checking these out because I do prefer this formula to that. This to me is a little bit stiffer. It has a touch more balminess, but it still sinks into the lips the same way that the Generation Gs do, like to give you that kind of blotted lip effect. The colors are absolutely beautiful. And I like this applicator more because it's smaller. The Generation Gs, I don't like how big they are. And this has like a really nice kind of herbal kind of lavender smell. Okay, one more lip item, the In Beauty Glaze. This is one of their lip glazes. This is the #1 shade. It's kind of like that candy apple red. I've talked about this before, but as far as a lip oil, this is one of my favorites. It is incredibly juicy. It just has that beautiful strawberry tint to it. It's not sticky, but it doesn't feel like it's kind of drifting outside of the lip lines, which a lot of lip oils kind of do that. This still gives that really beautiful water droplet effect to the lips. Smells like strawberry, like Twizzlers. Beautiful smell. Gorgeous, luscious color. Really, really beautiful. I think that In Beauty, you know, they get a lot of praise for this lip product for good reason. Now, before we get into my wish list, I did want to talk about some fragrance. I did recently mention Dead Cool in my last favorites video. I picked up a bunch of like their samples. #1, I absolutely love the Milk fragrance from Dead Cool, and I'm honestly considering purchasing the full size because it is just the perfect layering fragrance. They market it that way, but it's just that perfect white musk skin smell. It has a touch of sweetness. It has a touch of that kind of laundry blanket kind of smell to it, but it's not like too in your face. So you can really mix it with other fragrances, and it goes so well with Dead Cool's other fragrances. That's my #1, but I did want to mention 2 others that I really, really love. I really love Red Dakota. I definitely get kind of like an herbal tea kind of note to this, like a green tea smell with a muskiness. It's really nice. I love Tot as well. This is way more bergamot, vanilla, musk. So it's definitely sweeter, a beautiful one to go with Milk. But I actually really like Red Dakota paired with Milk because this does have a little bit more of that herbaceousness to it. So when you add a little bit of that skin smell, it's like, ooh, it just warms it up. Oh, it's so good. I really, really like Dead Cool fragrances. I've been very, very happy with them. One last fragrance, and then I forgot I need to talk about skincare. The Ellis Brook. This is the first fragrance from them that I have smelled. It's the Après fragrance, and I'm wearing it today. I will tell you right now that if you are a fan of By the Fireplace by Maison Margiela, you will be a fan of this. It, to me, is just like a more tree-forward version of that, and it is way less sweet. So if that fragrance is a little bit too sweet for you, this is really beautiful. To me, it's a little bit more unisex too than By the Fireplace, but in general, it's a really, really nice one for the holidays. Definitely gets you in that kind of cozy evergreen holiday mood. 2 skincare products. It's 2 products from Cler. So Cler is an indie brand. I actually have talked to the owner like over the years, and she is a gem, and I love her mission. I love how thoughtful every single formula is. I really highly suggest following Cler on Instagram. They always manage to do a really good job at, you know, educating their consumers. And she really likes to focus on gentle actives, which I really love. And Symmetry Fluid from Cler is definitely that product. So listen to these ingredients for a second. So there's green tea leaf water, white tea extract, grapeseed extract, ginkgo, squalane, vitamin C, aloe, raspberry seed oil, cranberry seed oil. The list goes on. This is such a beautiful product for those of you that want to incorporate a vitamin C in your routine, but you really want a fully thought out formula that has multiple antioxidants. It's really soothing on the skin as well. Cler does a bang up job. And I also really love the CoQ10 facial oil, and that's something that I need to stock up on. If you are a fan of a nice, rich facial oil that really sinks into the skin and allows that elasticity and helps to repair dryness without being, you know, just like that mask of oil on the skin, it does such a beautiful job at being like enveloping, but also, you know, doing the work and sinking into the skin. It's really, really beautiful. Okay, holy crap, this is gonna be a long video. If you are still here, thank you for being here. Let's talk about my wish list. So I have 2 different products from Terra 28 that I want to pick up. I think I'd like to pick up one of the one-liner, multi-liner lip liners. They look really pretty. really pretty shades, so I'm interested in that. I definitely want to pick up the Tower 28 SOS Intensive Rescue Serum. I really, again, like their SOS Mist, and this is like a barrier repair serum, so, you know, going into winter, I feel like it could be something really good to have on hand. If you guys have tried that, let me know. I really feel like I'm gonna get that. I'm kind of interested in the Westman Atelier Vital Skincare Complexion Drops because I like the Vital Skin stick foundation. I'm interested in seeing what the drops are like, and I gotta tell you, that packaging looks so luxe. I mean, gosh, Westman Atelier's packaging, it's hefty, it's gorgeous. They do a really good job with it, so I'd like to see what those are all about. Oh, I will say one note about Westman Atelier. I did try out their iPods, their pod shadows. I'm gonna say skip those, just in case you were looking at those. You wanted to know my opinion, I would say skip those. They're a bit lackluster. Roen has come out with a cheeky cream blush. Have you guys heard anyone talk about these? I don't have any, but I'm kind of interested in seeing what Roen has been coming out with recently. If this cheeky cream blush is anything to write home about, let me know. I'm interested in that. As far as a product from Jones Road I'd like to try another of the lip and cheek sticks in the shade Chocolate Mocha. Because I gotta tell you, that shade looks on point. I love a cool toned blush. I love a cool toned lip. So it seems like a really versatile product that I can kind of throw in my bag. It looks really, really beautiful. I'd like to get another one of the Kjaer Weis cream eyeshadows, and in specific, I would like to get that green shade. It's called Sublime. It's just this most gorgeous evergreen green, like truly vampy, deep, like really vampy, kind of like the shade I have behind me. I'd really like to try it. And lastly, aside from getting more of, you know, my Kosas Revealer Concealer, I'd like to pick up the Kosas Plump and Juicy Vegan Collagen Spray-On Serum. Have you guys heard anyone use this? I mean, it looks like a great prep product. And again, using these prep products, these makeup products that really are going to help your skin throughout the day, I'm willing to invest in that and see if it's something that I can, you know, introduce you guys to. So I kind of want to pick that up. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of products. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll leave a link to the sale down below, as well as date details and everything that I talked about. Again, thank you guys for being here and watching, and I will see you in my next one.